Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to Cadet News today on Monday, 13 October 2025. I am Leonidas Worotikan. Will bring you the most accurate and up-to-date news of the day. And this is the headlines for today. Bangladesh youth driving democratic renewal. In New York, Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate and chief advisor of Bangladesh's new interim government, is delivering his address to the 80th session of the UN General Assembly. His focus isn't on policy minutiae, it's a strong opinion to his nation's massive youth majority, making a change on the remnant of tyranny and making a massive change toward a more bright, equitable, and just future. In July 2024, Bangladesh is facing with many protests that demand a fair and non-discriminatory recruitment system for government jobs. The majority of these protesters were led by educated youth who had suffered from high unemployment for many years because of a lack of decent job opportunities. In response to the protests, the government, led by Sheikh Hasina, launched a week-long brutal crackdown that caused over 100 people died. The protest escalated into an uprising, ultimately leading to the overthrow of the government on August 5, 2024. The uprising had significant impact on the youth, who not just led this uprising, but giving even their lives in the process. Consequently, following the uprising, the youth expected a thorough reforms in all government institutions to prevent the return of authoritarianism and make sure the future government is accountable for all of its action. In response, the government formed several reform commissions, and by the end of July 2025, after almost a year later, most of the majority political parties agreed to introduce provisions in the constitutions to meet the people's demands. Bangladesh still remembers the memory of the July Revolution, exactly after 1 year of the incident. All skepticism is annihilated, and now no one will doubt the political force of Bangladesh youth. What started as street fury over a petty civil service quota boomed overnight into a massive force of nationwide roar for fundamental democratic soul-searching, effectively dissolving decades of autocratic malaise. The result was enormous. The quick and disgraceful resignation of Prime Minister Hasina marked the end of her decade-plus control over Bangladesh. Hasina's resignation isn't just a political defeat, but also marked an end of a terrible era. That era was defined by aggressive strongman tactics with frequent suppression of any opposing voices. Bangladesh now stands on the frontier of new path ahead that is filled with hope, but shadowed by uncertainty. Many work needs to be done to stabilize the fledgling new government, to make a new political reality, and the most important thing, rebuilding democratic government that have enough power to survive the temptation of going back to Hasina's era. An important meetings of experts, activists, and veteran leaders is discussing the main problem of how can the young leaders who gave their all on the line displace raw revolutionary spirit into a long-term stable political situation. It is not about preventing political despotism, but it's about preventing the country for political violence. The future of Bangladesh is now in the hand of all these new generation young leaders. That is all for today's news. Thank you for watching. See you next time.